Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, greetings and welcome, Americans, Mississippians. What kind of Indian are you? Huh? That's the question. We want to find out today. We want to help you discover. We're going to dig into the ABCs. Easiest one, two, three. Right? Let's dig into it. I said, hey. I said, hey. You're gonna learn something that you never ever learned before. Hey, 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 I'm gonna show you how to get it. Peace, peace, peace. We don't want to get blocked. We just want to set the tone that we ABCs, one, two, threes, do, re, mi, ABCs, ABCs, baby, you and me, girl. You see it on the screen. Yes, it is. It's the ABCs of Mississippian Indians. It's a wonderful book that I myself had the pleasure of writing. Yes, I did. I just wrote it. It's a brand new book. It's been out for about 3 weeks. Yes, sir. It's been doing really good on Facebook. Shots out. But I haven't had a chance to share the insights. I haven't done a in-depth dive of the ABCs. Easy. One, two, three. So let's get into it. We're just gonna try to gloss through. Can we gloss through? Yeah. So we're gonna gloss through here and let's see what we got. All right, this is the cover of the book, The ABCs of Mississippi Indians. If you are interested in the book, you can go to ThePriestking.com. The link will be in the description for the book and the website. All right. If you would like to support the 2.0 movement. But you like the cover? So the cover and the art inside is all conceptual. It's based upon um, narratives, based upon other artists' depictions and um, accurate descriptions of the people of the times. Right. Starting off with A. A is for Alabama, also known as the Alabamas, lived in the southeastern United States. They were part of the larger Creek Confederacy, which included several Muskegon-speaking tribes. They were closely related to other Creek-speaking tribes like the Creek, Choctaw, Chickasaw, and Cossati. The Alabama were known for mound building sites such as Bottle Creek. Oh yeah, shout out to the Alabama. And here's a cool picture representing them and their river basin, you know, cotton neighborhood, Alabama's. Oh yes. Moving along, the letter B. B is for Biloxi, Tunica Biloxi, which is a confederation along the Gulf Coast. Yes, sir. And the Biloxi engaged in fishing and farming, and they actually likely wore deer skin, actually. But they also incorporated cotton, of course, and they were known for mound building, but we don't have any particular sites that are attributed to them. But shout out to the Biloxi, the warriors in the Tunica Biloxi. Yes, sir. I know you see it, baby, see it. Moving right along to C, Cato people. Shout out to Cato out there in Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. They were a large group and they were organized into confederacies of distinctive chiefdoms, each with its own leader. Now, again, what I didn't talk about earlier was like a group like a Cato that got 3-4 states, So this is a large group. We don't really talk a lot about the Cato people, but they had their own language, right? So the Cato, of course, are known for their agricultural, their agricultural practices and mound building, right? The Cato belong to a unique language family, which is called the Catoan language. And they likely wore deer skins and cotton, doing big business out there in Louisiana and Texas. Also, the C is for corn. Yes. Cornbread. Oh, corn stalks. Shout out to Cato and them Texas boys, them Louisiana boys. You see, they got this hat right here, the cowboy hat. That is Indian tradition way before the Europeans came. So, and they had cotton. So this is right up around the alley of what they'd be looking like out there in Cato, looking real fly out there in Louisiana, Oklahoma. Shout out to Cato. Also, you can check out Calusa people. See, we got a lot of C's, so we can't really get them all, but we got them all. They down in Florida, so we got the canoes, because that's what they was big with out there in Florida. Shout out to them. And they were known for wearing pearls and using palm fronds and cotton fibers for clothing. See what I'm saying? They was rocking pearls and wearing breeches, wearing summer dresses. Shout out to them Mississippian Indians. The Calusi out there in Florida. Let's keep it going. The cassava. We got a lot of C's up in this joint. Shout out to the cassava in South Carolina. Big cassava energy. Big North Carolina energy. Carolina cassavas. Looking real fly with the feathers on. Oh, yeah. Big energy. We ain't going. Look at this dude's face. Look at Cuz face. We ain't going. You see it. I know you see it. We ain't going. Oh, yeah. When you get into the G, you got to get into the Guale. The Guale people. Shout out the whole team. Known for their advanced material culture, the Guale developed intricate cotton clothing. Now, this is true facts. They were intricate with their development. The Guale is different, man. Big Guale energy. Like, this should have been a cover, right? I know this should have been a cover, but this is the cover of a book on the Guales. They got their own book coming out, and this is on that cover. But yeah, shout out to the Guale. Big family energy. Mound building energy. The Huma people. How many of y'all heard of the Humas? The homies. The homies, out in southeastern Louisiana. Fishermen, traders, big Louisiana energy, right? The Huma were organized in separate villages, each with its own chief, and engaged in cultivation of crops, fishing along the bayou. Big business over there in the high. See, if they say you a trader, they say you get money along the trade, that show that you big business. They were known for their distinctive basket weaving and crafting of dugout canoes. They spoke the Muskegon language. Family. Shout out to the Louisiana homies. Look at the homies, by the river. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the homies by the river. And that good American South. Oh, yeah. We love that. Did you ever hear of the Casakempu? Huh? You never heard of the Casakempu? But see, this is who you are. What part of Alabama you from? These are some more Muskegee speaking people from Alabama, right? The history is associated with mound building traditions in the region. They were part of the Creek Confederacy and were known for agricultural practices and a complex social structure. They engaged in trade and maintained connections with neighboring tribes. Shout out to the the Nampo boys. They was killers. They awesome killers. They was never defeated. They just blended in. You know, the Nampo, Casa Nampo. Yes, sir. M is for Muskegee. Of course. You saying, well, they're not gonna be creeks. They're gonna be Muskegee. Big mound building energy. You see that up top. Oh yeah. Masters of the ground, of the agriculture. Shout out to the Muskegee. The Muskegee, you see, we say reside because they're still there. They reside in the southeast, particularly Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. Later organized into confederacies of distinct chiefdoms, each with its own leader, a complex social structure, and intense agricultural practices. See, I had to add that intense, advanced. Engaged in mound building activities, they created ceremonial and burial mounds. Big old, big old Muskegees, mound builders. The Creek were skilled farmers and traders. Their clothing was often made from deer skin, reflecting their connection to nature in the region. So, you got a lot of upper creeks that did wear deer skin. Shout out to the upper creeks. Alabama, Georgia, Creek. Oh, yeah. I like this little girl. She's just the cutest and shorty in the back. You know, he all feathered out. Look at cuz. He all feathered out. Right here with the left. He got the feathers on. He ain't tripping. Yes, sir. Definitely. Don't forget the N is for Natchez. Da, da, da. And see, like, somebody asks you what type of Indian you is, man, listen, you'll be able to tell them more than they can ever imagine. You know, see, they don't know the real truth. The Mississippian Indians, they just know all the store bought, all the generic stuff. Shout out to the Natchez. The Natchez people ruled a large, expansive area with the Mississippi River as their main highway. It ran right through the center of their joint. Known for their distinctive social hierarchy and mound building culture. Very distinct social hierarchy. They thought they was the Mayans. You can't tell them they wasn't the Mayans in America, boy. Organized into a complex chiefdom, they constructed ceremonial mounds for religious and civic purposes. Yes, sir. It's called emerald mounds. Huge. It's expensive. I mean, that thing, you go to Emerald Mound, it's like you standing on top of a stadium. Imagine people built a stadium in the sky to live there. It's crazy. Their society featured a hereditary nobility with the great sun at its apex. Yes, sir. Engaging in agriculture, the Natchez cultivated maize, beans, and squash. Yes, the Natchez. One of the last great empires. Oh, yeah. Looking very regal with the mound in the back, with Emerald Mound on the back. Looking very green. Yes, sir. Shout out to Louisiana and Mississippi. Natchez is very big in New Orleans. If you go to New Orleans, you're going to see a lot of streets called Natchez, a lot of everything. is Natchez in New Orleans. But it's like small streets. You know what I mean? It's like small neighborhoods. But it's like, why would they even have anything called Natchez? You don't see Natchez nowhere. But in New Orleans, you see Natchez everywhere. In Louisiana, Mississippi is their home. Oh, oh, it's for Ogeechee. Now, let me just start here, because if you from the Ogeechee River, you from that part of Georgia, you already know that it's oysters on deck. You know that they having, man, oyster parties, oyster bars. They rocking pearls. This is homegrown right here. This is a big thing in Georgia off that Ogeechee. So shout out to the Geechies. People don't want to say, they don't act like they know, but here is the truth. The Ogeechee people of the coastal areas of Georgia were a Muskegon speaking tribes in the southeastern United States. Their culture centered on the rich ecology of the Ogeechee River region. As skilled agriculturalists, they cultivated maize, beans, and squash. The Ogeechee maintained a complex social structure with distinct roles and responsibilities within their village. Fishing and gathering along the riverbanks were integral to their subsistence strategies, right? So we know that they was big fishers, and they fished a lot of catfish and oysters on the Ogeechee, the Geechees. Man, see, and they got mounds. They mound builders, and they speak Muskegon. Like, why are you speaking Indian language if you're not an Indian? Like, I didn't say they speak Muskegon. I wouldn't have to make that up. All they got to do is be Mississippian. Mississippian don't mean you speak, Muskegon. Right? Shout out to this beautiful Geechee girl. She's so pretty. Her pearls. She got to have pearls. She on the Geechee River. They was rocking pearls, brother. Eating them oysters. And rocking feathers. Look at her. Looking like a lady. Looking like a lady. Oh, yeah. A, B, C. Now back to P. P is for Pensacola. Did y'all know that Pensacola is named after the people? See, they be hiding that, y'all. They be trying to hide. They be putting places. Every place is the people, right? It might be hard to find the people, but sometimes it'd be easy. Like this is easy. Just popped up like pow. You know what I'm talking about? We all know this, right? I didn't know. I ain't gonna lie. This is what the book is for, though. This is the ABCs. Easy. The Pensacola people of Florida Panhandle were part of a larger Mississippian culture. They engaged in agriculture, pottery making, and trading. Like, for real, imagine like people in Florida known for pottery. That's their thing down there. They had pots in Pensacola, big time. And they had the rivers on lock. The Pensacola had distinctive cultural practices and contributed to the regional mound building tradition. They was building mounds in Pensacola, y'all. This is crazy. Right? So I'm gonna skip this part, right? While specific mound sites with the Pensacola may not be as well documented, their historical presence in the southeastern United States was marked by interactions with neighboring tribes in broader Mississippian cultural sphere. In the broader. So a lot of other people talked about them too, like, yo, the Pensacola. So it's not just like one or two people. They are mentioned and referenced in other people. And of course, Cortez got busy with them, right? So we got them smack dab in the middle of a swamp. The kids playing in the water What else would you be doing? Like they live in like lakes, like what's the lake in the middle of Florida? The big one near like Tampa Bay. I don't know, but that's how they living over there in the woods, in the woods. The Quapa, right? The Quapa, a Deegan Siouan speaking tribe traditionally associated with the Arkansas region were known for their history in the Mississippi Valley, right? They engaged in agriculture and had a close relationship with the river. The Quapaw were recognized for their unique mound building practices, including the creations of ceremonial mounds. Now, the Quapaw were the people that left um, after the Trail of Tears, like when the people moved out of or got kicked out, right? They went to Arkansas and they took over the Quapaw part. And the Quapaw moved to with the Cato. So the Quapaw had to move in with the Cato in Texas. But again, they were all the same tribe because y'all know the Cato we just said earlier was in Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Oklahoma. And this is a Quapaw. They out there fighting them bears. In Arkansas, they out here fighting bears. It get different. Don't he look like he'll kill a bear with his? I was like, yep, cuz kill a bear, boy, with his bare hands. He ain't playing out here. The Tennessee people, situated in present-day Mississippi, were a part of the larger Natchez cultural family, right? So the real Tennessee people used to be a part of a larger area, Renowned for their distinctive pottery and mound building activities, their intricate ceramic artifacts reflect the advanced craftsmanship. See, we are dealing with advanced people. And shout out to the T for turtle. Shout out to the T for turtle. Profound in farming, the Tennessee were part of the Mississippian culture characterized by ceremonial mound construction in hierarchical societies. Yes, sir. The Tennessee. It's beautiful morning. That's just how it looks right there to me. Feel like, like he having a good day. You could look at I could just look at cuz and be like, your cuz is having a good day. I don't know what he about to go do, right? But whatever he just did, it was dope. Shout out to cuz. Shout out to Temecula people back in Florida with it, right? They lived throughout large parts of Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. Within the Muskegon language family, they cultivated advanced agricultural practices, beans, corn, and squash, right? Elaborate pottery, shell carvings, and mound burial practices. The Temecula. Mississippi, baby. It's a culture. See, that's what we gotta understand. I should have broke that down from the beginning. It's about a culture. It's not about a state. How do you get a Mississippian Indian in Florida? Because it's about a culture. It's not about a state. Shout out to Temecula. And we got more. We got Tuskegee. Keep going. We got the Utina. Keep going. We got oh, she looks so gorgeous. Wow. This is like a cover of Vogue mag, bro. Like, look at this. This is Vogue magazine. This is it. This is it. Yes. I'm loving this. It's crazy. Shout out to the girls. Why is for yams and Yuchi? Oh, yes. This is amazing. Shout out to the UG. And there we have it. There we have it. And there are pop quizzes, there are answers, there are notes all along the book and extra covers. There are lots and lots and lots and lots. Let's go back. And lots and lots and lots for you to enjoy. Indeed. Yes, sir. Everybody come back to life. Yes, sir. So yes, it's the ABCs, baby. The 1, 2, 3s, lady. And hopefully it's just the beginning. It's just a nice little intro that will give you some information about the tribes that represent your culture. We're interested in promoting truth and honesty, and not all of us fit into the same generic cultural boundaries as determined by the Board of Education. There are lots of other real tribes that still have ties to the land and still have people that live in the communities, like the Cashapp, like the Geechie, right? Like the Guale, right? Are there Guale anymore? Are there still Natchez in Louisiana, right? So we don't all have to be generic. We don't all have to be one of the 5 uncivilized, right? We can represent our true areas, and we can look at the areas that our family is from. When we trace our families back, and you guys big into that, make sure that you look at the areas. Like, okay, cool. Which areas were they in before the census, before that, right? Because again, they don't like to put your peoples. They just want to put the Indian, right? But hey, we are the Indian, and now we can put the microscope to it. We can look at it deep, and we can see what kind of Indian we are, and we can find out more about our people, you know? And again, like, you have to understand, most people, by the time you read this book, you're going to be um, way ahead. Most people can't even name 5 tribes, yet alone A to Z. So yeah, if you can come out with 10 tribes that you can just think of off the top of your head, you'll be way ahead of everybody else in the conversation. Everybody. Come up with 10 sites, because again, 10 of these places, 10 of these tribes is also 10 mound builders. Understanding that these are the people that build the mounds. These are the cultures that lived in those mound building cities, lived on top of those mounds. So if they're not talking about the mounds, they're not talking about the people. So now you're going to be able to know at least 10 of the cultures that they're not talking about, the cultures that have pyramids. Real spit. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yes, sir. It's a beautiful day. These people look serious. These Guale look serious in their advanced agricultural. Yeah, man. So get yourself this workbook and make sure you learn your ABCs and you have advanced weaponry. So when someone asks you what type of Indian are you, what is a Mississippian Indian, and where can I find them, and what are they known for? Hey, you can tell them you can tell them their location, you can tell them the type of, understand that each one of these, they give you their location, they give you the type of food that they produce, and they give you what they're known for. You're not getting that anywhere. You're not getting that. You're not getting nouns of everybody. the who, what, the where. You see, you be armed. Arm yourself with knowledge, people. You see, don't just get confused by the pretty pictures. You will arm yourself with knowledge. You never heard about the Casanampu, right? Casakapu, Casakanampu, right? Casakanampu, right? So what? But you know they speak Muskegon. That's one. You know they from Alabama. That's two, right? They were in the Creek Confederacy. That's three. People don't know nothing about them. See what I'm saying? You already mastered them. The Muskegon. I mean, you know, like just this is how some of these is so deep. But by the end of these, you're gonna have 3 key bullet points. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have 3 bullet points, 3 points where you can at least 3. It's more in here, but you're gonna have at least 3 bullet points where you can dig into them, research them, and pull them out. Because again, like I'm telling you, all of these people built mounds. That's what this culture is about. That's what Mississippian culture is about. That's how easy love can be. Come on, let me show you what it's all about. Yes, sir. Thank you for hanging out on this beautiful. It's beautiful. Hope you guys enjoy it. And get that book. We're going to put it in the thing below somewhere, right? Nobody told you today. I love you. Love being in love with you. Oh, yes, oh, yes. Hope something good happens to you today. It's not too late. It's never too late. Yes, sir. Peace.